subscribers. I appreciate you guys. Welcome. If you're just tuning in right now, we're going to have a little talk about the For Honor Hero series, okay? We're going to have a little talk. I'm going to give you guys my opinion from a person who competed in the tournament and had a good time, and also just some constructive feedback moving forward. And just so people understand the tournament and what went down from somebody who was involved. So, let's get started. There is a lot of people that are upset about the tournament results because Alarnakin, he won. He was in Ibushi using Unlock Tech, and people were like, this is bullshit. And there was a lot of raiders charging, me included, and people were like, this is bullshit. This isn't how For Honor is supposed to be played, yada, yada. And people have a right to be upset regarding the state of competitive play. Now, is For Honor like that all the time? No. If you buy For Honor and you just log in and you play, matchmaking and whatnot, you're rarely going to run into situations where you're facing that level of sophisticated assault on your gameplay. That's what we'll call it. Did anybody expect anything different from the competitors? No. We all expected, since the tournament allowed Unlock Tech to be used, everybody expected Unlock Tech in one shape or form to be present. Everybody expected raiders to be running out and charging each other over and over. That was all expected. Nobody was blindsided by it. Nobody was blindsided. And if you expected anything different, I'm sorry for your disappointment. That is what was present. That was what was allowed. And players chose to use those bugs to the fullest extent when there's thousands of dollars on the line. First place got $2,000. Second place got $750, so on and so forth. So there was a decent amount of money on the line, and most of the players decided to, use whatever was presented to win the tournament. Now, was it a good idea to have a 1v1 tournament in the current state of For Honor? I don't think so, but it was the safest bet at not messing with server crashes. Like if you had a 4v4 tournament, the qualifiers would have been a mess because there would have been a lot of disconnects here and there. And you would have to deal with the disconnects of an online qualifier for 4v4. It would have been too messy. So 1v1 was just a clean, safe approach. But it was unfortunate that the meta or the competitive scene in 1v1 is in shambles the way it is right now. It's not in a good spot. And they're actively trying to fix it. And it's not in a good spot right now. Me personally, I had a great time in the tournament. They flew us out to LA. They got us a nice hotel. They treated us well. And we all had fun. None of the players were upset. Even I got knocked out in the top 8, and some people got knocked out before that. Nobody was truly upset because we all kind of expected what was going to go down. The only thing that I was blindsided by, and some other people were blindsided by, was we were playing on 60 hertz monitors, which this is going to sound very PC elitist or something, privileged or whatever, but going from playing on 144 FPS, 144 hertz, and dropping to 60 hertz, it kind of throws you off. It throws off your game. It throws off your timing, and it kind of messed with the people who usually play on 144 hertz. So if you're not used to it, it's kind of hard to play on it. Oscar did really good as an Orochi, and I don't want to take anything away from Oscar. He came out and he showed up and he put on a show. However, with 144 hertz playing on 60 hertz against an Orochi, it's a little bit of a different game. The Orochi can get away with a lot more, and Oscar knew that, and he was playing a lot more aggressive, and people weren't parrying him as often. Now, this is probably just a coincidence. It is just a coincidence, in my opinion. But it is worth noting. The two players who made it to the finals, Alarnakin, the Nobushi, and Bandana, the Centurion, both of those players at home play on 60 hertz monitors. Now, did that have an effect? Probably not in the long run. They probably still would have made it regardless. Just based off matchups and who they win against. They probably still would have made it. But they sure were playing in a more comfortable, more at-home native refresh rate compared to the people who had to drop from 144 to 60. Now, why were we playing on 60 hertz? That is a good question, and I actually have the answer. And it is not ESL's fault. It is not ESL's fault. It is the game cannot be streamed on 144 hertz in a tournament environment currently. Why? So they brought us 144 hertz monitors. They were prepared for 144 hertz, but to capture, there's no spectator mode in For Honor. So in For Honor, you have to capture the monitor of each individual player. And using a capture card or you capture the monitor, you have to use a splitter. And in our current technology, you can't really use a splitter and maintain 144 hertz. How do you go around this? Spectator mode. There needs to be spectator mode in For Honor if you want to have 144 hertz LAN tournaments being streamed. So that's what's it called? That's just like something that the game needs, spectator mode, before you can have 144 hertz LAN tournaments. Now, did that have a huge effect on the tournament? Probably not. The same outcome would have happened most likely on 144 hertz. I think Alanakin had the best chance at winning with Nobushi on lock. It is very strong. It's very hard to counter, and you have to work really hard to outplay that. Nobody was really happy about like the result or the entertainment value of the tournament, but nobody who was competing was really surprised. And a lot of the people on Reddit and a lot of people on Twitch hated a lot on the tournament, and they were very, very disappointed with the results. And I don't blame them for being upset. A lot of people, they came out, they were ready to be entertained. They wanted to watch high-level play. They wanted to watch parrying, dodging, like this back and forth action. And some matches delivered. Some matches definitely delivered. Some matches were very entertaining. Some matches were very skillful and had some good highlights. But most of the matches fell short of that entertainment value that people were looking for. So what can be done to make things better moving forward, right? You have a question. Are you going to... Do you ban Unlock Tech in these tournaments, or do you not? Now, here's... You got to look at it from both perspectives. Now, this is coming from somebody who does not use Unlock Tech. I just play the game. Like, I just play the game. And for the most part, I don't really abuse or exploit anything that is broken, for the most part. So I don't use Unlock Tech. I don't use any of that stuff. Now, how do you go about running a tournament when there's persistent bugs that kind of take away from the core aspect of the game? If you ban Unlock Tech, you're going to have a hard time in the qualifiers because you would require people to record their monitor. You would require people to record all their matches, and you would have a lot more disputes and people complaining and false positives and all that stuff during the qualifier phase of the tournament. People would be required to record their footage unless they want to deal with like long wait time of admins reviewing shit and whatnot. So you'd have a hard time running a qualifier over the course of 4 weeks if you were to ban Unlock Tech, right? But sorry, I'm gonna have to skip this real quick. I'll get to that in a second. But if you ban Unlock Tech and you ban those very, very obvious, easy to read bugs, you might have a more enjoyable final tournament. Like it would be very easy at the LAN that we had over the weekend for us to let's just say ban Unlock Tech, and then if anybody was using it, they would be given a warning. But that doesn't make any sense because you would have the qualifiers allowing Unlock Tech, and then you'd have the final LAN tournament banning it. So you'd be playing the game on two different rule sets depending on where you're at, and that kind of takes away from the whole tournament. Like the flow has to be consistent from beginning to end for you to have a proper tournament. So what's the fix? There's no real fix in sight right now. They have to fix unlock tech, but in my opinion, moving forward, they should steer clear from 1v1. In my opinion, and a lot of the other competitive players' opinions, 1v1, while it might be fun and it gives you that fighting game community vibe, this game belongs on the 4v4 scene. It belongs in team-based, objective-based tournaments. 4v4, heck, even 2v2, but even 2v2 has its problems. But I think 4v4, one, it'd be more entertaining. Two, people would be able to support a team instead of like an individual player. And usually when it comes to like team-oriented things, the fan base is more invested in the games. There's constant action. There's no reason to worry about stalling or timing out. And then on top of that, in a 4v4 environment, unlock tech and all those bugs, while they are still present and strong, they are not as powerful because in For Honor, 4v4s aren't determined by individual skill and individual unlock tech. It is determined by team-based, just strategy, teamwork, and communication. That's kind of what gives you the win in a 4v4 environment. Because somebody's using unlock tech in 4v4, one, it's less noticeable, and two, it doesn't have as much of an impact on the fight. So, moving forward, I think For Honor and ESL should shift their focus to 4v4. I think that's something they do plan on doing, and I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes. Now, do they go back to 1v1? Yes, but not yet. They need to iron out the bugs. They need to iron out the defensive meta to the point where it is presentable on a large-scale audience. People can watch it and be entertained. I like 1v1. I like 4v4. I want both 1v1 and 4v4 and 2v2 to be present on the esports scene. Like, I want it to be present for Honor. But I still think it is best to focus on 4v4 and have 1v1 in the back burner, and when it's ready, it can come out. So, I know some people are asking about the Rock incident with me and Oscar. If you did not watch the tournament, I was going against Oscar. It was the third game in a best of 3. I was up 2-1, and we were both down to 1 bar of health. He guard broke me, I counter guard broke, and he fell on a rock. He tripped on a rock, and I got a free heavy attack and killed him. This is not a bug. I know a lot of people are saying it's a bug. It's actually not a bug. It's a design in the game currently where, like, if you're standing on a staircase or if you're standing on an elevated surface and you get, like, counter guard broke off that surface and your character has to move down, a lot of the times you will trip and fall down. It happens on a lot of different maps. Maybe it's not the best design for 1v1s. It doesn't happen too often, but the fact that it happened and determined the match, a lot of people were upset about that. I do want to say that Oscar still continued through the match. Like, he didn't get eliminated. Not that it makes it any better. It does suck. I would have like, if that happened to me and I fell off a rock and got killed and got eliminated, I'd be very upset. But it is not a bug. It's just design that probably wasn't thought about too clearly to an extent. It's just like, it's like some weird environmental design. It's actually intended. It is not a bug, but it's something that's like, maybe they should go back and iron it out a little more. Like, you shouldn't fall from like a 1 foot drop. Like, and it wasn't even 1 foot. It was just like a little rock on the map. Like, if you get counter guard broken on a staircase, sure, that makes sense. You trip on the staircase and you fall. But it was just a tiny rock he was standing on. It's kind of like an environmental flaw. That's what it is. It's not a bug. Just for the sake of like labeling it properly. It's not a bug, but it's just like bad environmental design. That's all it is. Overall though, I want to say I do appreciate the opportunity I was given. I liked the guys. I mean, like, Kiri, Zach. I know people thought me and them had like a really bad, beef with each other, but no, we were fine. Everybody was like cool. It was a good experience, and working on like an esports stage with the ESL people and with the For Honor people, it was fun. Like we had fun. The players had fun. I know some of the viewers were really disappointed with the results, but the players had fun, and you want to shift that over as well to the viewers and give the viewers something to have fun with. Not everybody was disappointed, but the people who came looking for high level For Honor in the way that they think high level For Honor is, they left feeling disappointed, and I understand that, and that's why I think moving forward they should not focus on 1v1s until 1v1 is in a good spot, and mainly focus on 4v4. Also, don't throw hate on the players. I saw a lot of hate thrown on Alarnakin, on Clutchmeister. Clutchmeister, by the way, he was putting on a show. Like, he's not actually like that. Like, I talked with the guy, he's chill, but he wanted to put on a show. He wanted to put on this persona, and he did, and it worked really well because he got a lot of hate. And some people actually took it too far and sent threats and whatnot, but it worked well. And Alarnakin just did what was like within the rule sets, right? He just did with what was within the rule sets. So if you're gonna hate on anything, like direct your hate towards balance and fixing these cheesy mechanics, but don't directly insult the players. Like I've been like guilty of doing that in the past, where I'm like, man, I hate this player because he abuses this and that. But at the end of the day, like, people will do whatever it takes, as long as it fits the rule sets, and it's not like it's not outside of the rule sets, and there's money on the line. People will do whatever it takes. You just gotta expect that. Now, some players choose not to go that far, and there's nothing wrong with that. And there's also nothing wrong with like taking it to the fullest extent of what is allowed. But that's about it, guys. Like that, people just wanted to know how I felt about it. So hopefully this isn't too long of a rant. It's not really a rant. I just wanted to give my opinion on the topic. King Richard and Vivid Nas, fantastic commentators. Like, they were naturals up there. So that was really good. They kept the show alive. Also want to give a shout out to Bill, the host. Jump. Obviously he's done it before, and he did a great job as well. But Richard and Vivid Nas, they really, really went above and beyond what people expected. So they did a great job. So props to them. And the tournament ran a little too long. I think in the future it should either be like a 2-day event, even for 4v4s. Like, it should be a 2-day event where you do the group stages, but you don't stream every single group stage. And then you have the finals on one day. But the tournament ran too long. It was like a 10-hour stream. It should have been 5 hours. It literally should have been cut in half as far as duration is concerned. And that's something that will just be worked on by scheduling and figuring out. Like, they overestimated how long each fight could take. Because trust me, when people go 1v1, the fights could take forever. Aren't those the exact same things we talked about months ago? They are, and things are being done regarding what I'm talking about. That's why it's not a bad thing. Like, things are being done. The defensive meta is being changed. It is being tested. It is being changed. We've seen some of the changes coming in, and it will be fleshed out over the course of Season 3 and hopefully be ready by Season 4. Dedicated servers, that's something that's supposed to be coming in as well. Spectator mode, I don't know anything about when that's supposed to come, but that needs to come ASAP, because when spectator mode comes in, not only does it open up opportunities for tournaments, but also streamers and communities alike to get together and have some fun with the game. And it's hard right now because you're limited without spectator mode. And you're also limited to 60 hertz at a LAN event without spectator mode. But that's all I had to say, guys. I'm going to be posting this onto YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, hello. And hopefully I covered most of the points I wanted to cover. This will be going live on my YouTube channel tonight. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any comments or opinions about what I said or the tournament, just leave it down below. And leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe for more For Honor content. My name is Cypher, and I'll catch you guys next time. Okay, that was just for YouTube. I didn't.